Alabama takes on LSU at home and dominantly wins 20-9 in a low offensive output game. LSU, I really don't think ever had a chance in this game. It looked close early in the first half, but their offense was never going to give them a chance in this one.
You're not going to go into Bryant Denny and not score a touchdown and win a game.
Yeah, I think they may have had one game. I don't remember if it was in Tiger Stadium, but it was like a 9-6
The
game.
9-6. I think that there was no touchdowns in that game. I think that
Yeah,
was at Packer Stadium. And
it
then
probably
Bama got
was.
revenge on them in the Natty that year,
Yeah,
21-0.
this matchup, like you rarely see that happen, and when it does happen, it's because of two really elite defenses, and not necessarily maybe one offense being really, really poor. I felt like LSU's offense in this game was just unbelievably poor. They continued to do the same things they always do. I mean, they had a couple good runs with Harlem Berry, which I was hoping they would lean on that just to show me that they could be a different team for once, but they didn't. They stopped giving them the ball and they started to try and throw these check downs and these short stop routes and drag routes, all the typical stuff that LSU's been doing all season, these screens, and they just got bottled up. And Garrett Nussmeier was only averaging like 5 yards per attempt. He was 18 for 21, but he could not move the ball down the field, so they bench him. MVS goes in, or MVB, sorry, and he plays just really inconsistently. Like he shows flashes of being a really great runner, and then the offensive line can't protect him, so
Yeah, I
he
mean, it looked
panics.
like they're about to do something, and then the offensive line would fold, and he would get sacked, and then they had a strip sack at the end of the game. Just anytime they'd take a step forward, they'd take two steps back, and really just hinges on the O line and how terrible it's been.
Yeah, the O line was big. Not being able to protect the quarterback really sucked for them, and then obviously abandoning the run like they always do. Maybe that wasn't just a Brian Kelly thing. Maybe this team is just incapable of sticking to the run. I don't know, but that's just what it feels like to me after watching this. Joe Sloan, I'd be shocked if he stays employed after the season or gets kept on staff for any
He's
reason.
already gone, I thought.
I didn't know if they
Is
fired
he
him
not?
or not. I thought they kept Blake Baker and Joe Sloan on, but they may have fired him and Brian Kelly. It looked like the same offense to me, so I guess that's why I assumed he was still there. Nothing really changed to me visually watching this football game. So,
He's fired. Yeah.
okay, well, they may have literally just kept doing what they knew because they didn't want to try to practice for a new game plan going into Tuscaloosa. I guess they thought they gave them the best chance, but if I'm LSU, I'm doing anything but what they had been doing. So,
Yeah, they should have taken a page from Auburn.
yeah, they ended up finishing with 232 total yards in this game. That's one of the lowest outputs they've had in a while. It was not great. They had a pretty poor performance against Ole Miss offensively, but they actually were able to score a touchdown in that game. Kicking 3 field goals in this one was just not going to get it done. I really liked what I saw from Alabama's wide receivers and tight ends. Josh Cuevas is starting to come on. He's had a couple big catches. Latsier Brooks, I didn't even know he was on the team until this year. I don't follow Alabama football that close to know what depth they have at receiver. All I really knew was that they had Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard, which are two really good receivers. But Latsier Brooks was healthy in this game, and he comes back. I think he had the biggest play in this game with a 53-yard catch that set them up inside the 10 for a 17-3 lead with that touchdown before the half. That's what made it pretty evident that this game was probably not going to be reachable for LSU if they couldn't find touchdowns, and they never did after that.
I'm glad we didn't go to this one with how the offense has performed in the game.
Yeah, we heavily considered it. I guess we're just now telling y'all that we have not gone to this game. We looked at the ticket prices and the nosebleeds. It just wasn't worth it. We kind of had a feeling that LSU wasn't going to be as competitive as we wanted them to be in this game for it to be worth going to. And with the amount of money we would have to pay, it just wasn't worth it. We had the one game we went to with State Georgia, which also ended up not being extremely competitive down the stretch. So I'm glad we didn't double up on uncompetitive SEC games this week.
For sure.
So that pretty much does it for Alabama versus LSU. I didn't really have any other big key takeaways here. I think Alabama probably had their worst offensive performance in the past couple weeks and still was able to win by double digits. So thoroughly impressed by this team's defensive game plan and how they played down the stretch this year.